sideways. I prefer to have it in a horizontal orientation so you guys can see my entire body. But if I phone, the video will be sideways when we upload it. So thank y'all for your patience. I've literally gone through the settings 3 times and now we're starting late. So thank you. I had to start the video off like that, but just full transparency, we're just trying to get it to work and I'm trying to do better quality. So honestly, this might be the last month that we do lives and we'll just do recorded videos so that we can have it horizontal. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's get into it. We are gonna get into our root to rise flow today. So our intention today is really to calm ourselves. You know, I have to remember I have a mic on so you guys can hear me today. So yes, we are calming our nerves, really getting grounded, resetting. Some of us may have been launched into this Aries season and felt really, scattered and chaotic or whatever. So we're just going to get started in a seated position with a guided breath flow, okay? So come into a comfortable position, whether it is seated with your legs crossed or you can sit with your legs straight, whichever feels comfortable for you. I think I'm gonna sit with my legs straight just so that I'm not crunching my legs in. But we're just gonna raise our posture, rolling our shoulders back, opening our chest. And we're gonna take a few deep breaths in here. So as we breathe, we're gonna take our breath in through our nose and releasing it out through our mouth. Again, breathing in, expanding the belly, and out. Again, deep breath in through the nose, really stretching the belly out, and out. Excuse me, y'all. Taking a deep breath in again through the nose and breathe it out. Let's go for a few more rounds. Breathing in and out. On this next breath cycle, I want you to hold your breath for 3 counts. Breathe it in and hold for 3, 2, 1. Release out. And we hold for 3, 2, 1. Breathe it in. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Release. And hold for 3, 2, 1. Nice. With your eyes closed, taking this moment to reflect on elements that make you feel grounded and how you want to feel through the rest of this season. Finding that truth that brings you to anchoredness, what anchors you to your truth, what anchors you to your vision, what anchors you to your why. Lock into that motion right now, into that mindset. Bear with me, y'all, as I am cleansing. Taking a deep breath in and out. Nice. Begin to flutter the eyes open. Meet me here in tabletop. I'm going to use tabletop to rise up today. So from tabletop, let's press the tops of our toes into our mat. Pressing our toes and then pressing our heels into our mat. And now let's walk our hands just so gently towards our feet and slowly rise up 1 vertebrae at a time. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Once you arrive, rolling those shoulders back. Yes. Ashe, let's begin our practice, okay? So we can take a step up to the top of our mat. I'm going to be a little bit in the middle of my mat so that you guys can see me. We're going to go for a few rounds of sun salutation. If you aren't familiar with sun salutation, just follow along. I will give you some cues. But we're going to start out by taking a deep breath in and rising our arms. Reaching those hands up high to the sky. As we exhale, we fold forward, reaching for our toes. Taking an inhale as we halfway lift. Nice flat back. And lower as we exhale. Nice. Taking an inhale here. And exhale, let's step it back into plank. Holding for inhale. You can modify, maybe bring the knees down as we lower for chaturanga. Deep inhale as we rise. And exhale, pressing into the hands, pressing into the toes. And we rise into downward dog. Deep breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to walk our feet forward. Deep inhale in as we rise. Nice. Exhale, lower the arms. Open the palms forward, lifting the chest as we arrive and complete our first round. Nice. Let's take that for a couple more times. Deep breath in as we rise our arms. Maybe a slight bend in the knees. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale as we halfway lift. And exhale as we float down. If you feel it, you can jump it back or you can still step it back. Let's take an inhale here. And exhale, lower again. If you want to, lower those knees to come down. Inhale, rise, open the chest. And as we exhale, pressing our tailbone up to the sky into downward dog. And inhale. And as we exhale, let's walk our feet to our hands. Take a deep breath in as we rise. And exhale, float those arms down. By the side, open the palms wide, lifting the chest. Nice. Let's go again. Deep inhale, rising the arms up. Slight bend in the knees as we float. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale here. And exhale, let's step it back. Hold for a breath. And as we exhale, we lower down. Bring those elbows into the ribs. Deep breath in as we rise. Open the chest. Relaxing the tailbone. And exhale, pressing the tailbone up to the sky. Maybe pressing those heels into the mat. Bringing some warmth to the backs of the legs as it rises from the the calves into the hamstrings, into the buttocks. Really warming it up. Take a breath in. And as we exhale, let's walk those feet up to our hands. Nice. Breath in, rise. Got the nice pops. And exhale, floating those arms down, open the chest. We have arrived. Maybe we feel a little bit more warm in our body. I feel some tingling in my arms, definitely a lot more activated than I started. I hope you're feeling that as well. Take one more of our sun salutation, just the beginning, and then we're going to flow into a different sequence. So we're going to inhale our arms up over our head, breathe it in. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, rise. And exhale, fold over. Let's hold here for a breath in. And exhale, pressing the feet back into plank. Here's where we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to press our tailbone up to the sky for downward dog. We're going to take our right leg up to the sky, letting it float up, 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 as far as you can take it, as far as comfortably. And then here we're going to do a little bit of an adjustment, checking our hips. We want to have our hips square to our mat. So maybe we had opened a little bit. We want to just tilt that hip forward, reach that toe back. Let's take a breath in here. And as we exhale, swinging that right leg forward into our lunge. We can take our hands on either side. Ooh, I'm out of the frame. We can take our hands on either side of our leg here. Just really getting into this lunge, getting adjusted to this position. If you need, you can lower that knee for this first round. Getting acclimated to this position again. Our hips might be tight. I know my hips are very tight right now. So yeah, you can sit in this, really getting into that psoas muscle. I said I was going to do the other side next time, but we will do it again on our left side. But here, we want to make sure that our knee is in line with our ankle, okay? And as we're in this stretch, we really want to press our hip. I know you guys can't see it on this side. I'm going to switch for the sake of you guys seeing me. But our knee is in line with our ankle, and our hip is as if we have a string and we're pulling that hip down to the ground. So again, we have our hands on either side of our leg and we are holding that stretch. Hold this stretch for 3 deep breaths. And we just got a comment in the room. Let me see what's said. Oh, nice. Hey. X Infinity. I'm the only one in here. Well, thanks for joining. All right, so if you are finished with your 3 breaths, we are going to bring that leg back up. The back leg, straightening the back leg. And then let's bring our front leg, which would be our right foot, bringing that back into plank. Let's hold our plank for 1 breath in. And as we exhale, lower down. Pressing into upward dog. Let's rise our tailbone up to the sky, coming into downward dog, maybe adjusting the hips here, feeling out the difference in how our hips feel. One side may be a little bit more open than the other, which is great. Let's walk our feet to our hands. Nice. Let's take a deep breath in as we rise our arms, floating them up overhead, and exhale. Nice. Excuse me, y'all. We got sinuses. I don't know if you're watching, if you're in Texas, but the way the weather is, it has a lot of drainage happening for me. So just be patient with me as I allow that to process. All right, we're going to take a deep breath in as we float our arms up once more. And as we exhale, fold it forward. Nice connection with the breath. Breath in as we halfway lift. And exhale, fold it forward. Let's hold here for 1 breath. And as we exhale, stepping our feet to the back of our mat. Here we are in plank. Let's press our tailbone up to the sky. Nice and elongated, really pressing those hands into the ground, pressing the feet, the pads of the feet, the heels of the feet into our mat. And then we're going to just take a deep breath in as we rise our left leg up to the sky. Again, we're going to do a adjustment check here. Maybe our hip is open. We want to tilt and adjust our hips to point towards our mat, so square towards the mat. And then we exhale, let that leg flow forward into our left lunge. Again, here, this is our first one, so we want to let our right knee or back knee touch down on our mat while our knee in front is square and in line with our ankle. You're welcome to prop the foot up or you can have it down. Again, this is just our first round. We just want to get acclimated to this stretch. Really just, waking our hips up to sink into this stretch here. Nice. On your third breath, straightening that back leg. Let's swing or slide our left leg in line with our right into plank. Take a deep breath in here. And as we exhale, lower down. Pressing into our hands, lifting that chest, relaxing the buttocks here. Try not to squeeze the booty, but let it relax in the back. And then let's press back to child's pose. Nice. Connecting to your breath here. Making sure you're breathing. On your third exhale, meet me in tabletop. Nice. This time we're going to bring our tailbone up to the sky for downward dog. Taking your time, really elongating that stretch, articulating every motion. Nice. Once we're this time, we're going to take our left leg up to the sky as we inhale. Again, square to the mat. And as we're going to swing the leg with our knee to our nose. And then back up to the sky. And then bringing it through as if we're bringing it to our nose, but then we're just going to put that foot to the top of our mat. Now here we're going to get a little bit more challenging. We can bring our hands to our knee here. Nice. Pressing into this hand. If you feel like you're ready for a challenge, maybe you can come into crescent lunge, reaching those arms above the head, engaging the core. A deep breath in and out. Lower the hands down. Let's straighten that front leg as we bring our forehead. Good. Nice deep breaths in. And now let's walk. I'm using that. Walk our hands over. You took it off of the screen. Over to the other side. We're going to put our hands on either side of our right leg. Now let's ground our hands on the back of our mat. And we're going to swing our right leg into plank. Let's bring our tailbone up to the sky into downward dog. And this time we're going to swing our right leg up just as we did on the other side. Breathing it in and swinging that knee towards the nose. And as we exhale, we swing it back up. And on this next exhale, let's swing it down into our right lunge. Nice, really sinking into that stretch. Now let's challenge ourselves to come up just another level, pressing our hands into our knee, really elongating that leg in the back, reaching that heel towards the bottom of our mat. Whew. Maybe checking in with your balance, checking in with your breath. Remember not to hold your breath in this balance. And again, if you want to go up another level and you want to go into crescent lunge, you can reach those arms up to the sky. Deep breath in. And exhale, fold it forward. Let's straighten that front leg. Let's walk our hands to the middle of our mat. We're here in a standing straddle. Nice. Okay. And then let's press our, angle our heels in. Like so, if you've done ballet before, we're going into a second position. Toes are pointing at the diagonals of our mat. And then we're going to ground our hips, rise up. Bringing those arms up and over. Let's bring our hands down into cactus. We're going to get into the shape of goddess pose. We're not going to do that. Okay. Grounding in here. Okay, so when we're grounding into this pose, we want to really ground into our hips. And it's easy to clench right here in our psoas, but try to relax. Try to relax your butt while you're in this grounded position. Again, we're going to rise the arms up. Allow them to float down into cactus, really holding this strength and powerful pose. Engaging the core. Let's take three deep breaths in. Maybe getting a little bit lower every breath out. Your third breath out, reaching, stretching the body up, and floating over. Turning those toes to point forward to the edge of our mat. Parallel feet. And let's reach our hands through our legs. Nice, breathing in here. Nice. Keep it going. Walking our hands back through our legs into the front. Okay, so let's take our hands back over to the front of our mat, okay? We're gonna come into a plank. Let's hold for a breath in. And as we exhale, we lower down. Nice. Pressing in, rising your shoulders up, chest is open. And then let's just shift back to child's pose. We're just gonna sit in child's pose for a little bit. Reflecting on this practice, settling our body down. Let's take our right arm, staying in child's pose, and just threading our arm through between our chest. take the front or the left arm behind the back for a little bit of a twist. Switching sides, let's take that left arm and thread it through. Take that right arm, if you want to, around the body and back. You can rest the eyes here. And we can come to a flat position on our mat for Savasana. Shavasana. That word always trips me up. We're coming to laying on our back. We'll pull our knees into our chest just to give some opposition to our back after all of that movement and stretching. Nice. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Open. You can have your palms open either above your head or along your sides. And in this moment, let's just take this time to reflect on our flow, reflect on our practice, and the intention that we set for today's practice. What has come up for us? What does this grounded feeling feel like in our body, in our hearts, and in our mind? Setting the intention that this flow allows you to feel grounded through your motion as you continue to ascend on your path to align with the best version of yourself. May you feel capable and ready for any challenge ahead. And you see any challenge instead of a challenge as a lesson, as an opportunity to grow. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe it out. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, rolling the wrist and the ankles, maybe bending the knees and the arms, waking that body up, coming back into this physical realm, into the room that you're in, preparing for your day ahead, or maybe your night, depending on when you're watching this video. Yes. Give yourself a gentle round of applause. You did it, y'all. That was so awesome. I'm so thankful and so happy for that flow. It felt so good. Let me know how it felt for you in the comments below. I would love to hear it. I see we had some comments flowing today in the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about. She said, Xfinity said, I'm the only one in here. GMD Charlie said, had like a crossed out smiley face. And then they said, no, I'm just kidding. Tyra put some hearts with a star. GMD Charlie said, hello, check your chat. Well, we were definitely in a flow, Charlie. and Tyra said, gratitude, yes, see. Yes, thank you guys for joining. If you enjoyed that flow and that is something that you want to experience on a regular basis, If you want to experience that on another platform, we do a Moonmint Collective vibes. Yes, great flow. Yes, Ashe, thank you. Um, we have our Moonmint Collective happening on April 13th. This is going to be at 6:30 a.m. This is a virtual experience. And if you are someone that likes to gather in sisterhood, this is an all women's experience. I will highlight that. This is an all women's experience. It is kind of like a spin off of Ease with Empress, but we incorporate movement in a way that is more interpretive, more improv. So if you love to explore movement and you want to get into the flow of things in your own element, that is definitely something for you. We start off the workshop with an hour of devotion. We are focused on the full or new moon that is happening at that time. This one is going to be a full moon. Um, and so we're going to be exploring the elements, and the focus is compatible compassion. So finding compassion and what your compatible compassion wave is, how we can show up for ourselves and how we can show up for others, and having compassion, and what is compatible for us, because how one person shows compassion is different for us. You know what I mean? We'll also explore a little bit of our goal getting conversation that we dove into last session for our new moon in Aries, which is why we are really focused on grounding ourselves, because that new moon energy in Aries and the goal getting, it was literally like lighting a fire, and you know when the bubbles start boiling, it starts going. And so things have been going so quickly. Everything's just been going. And so I thought that today would be a really beautiful opportunity for us to ground ourselves and really lock in on what our why is, what our intention is, and why we're showing up. Next up, we have Ease with Empress, April 19th. This is an in-person experience in Dallas, Texas. So if you're in the Dallas area, this is something that you definitely want to tap into. This is our first time, our first debut in Dallas. Before, we were only offering it in Waco. And it was an amazing experience. When I tell you it sold out every time and people were like on a wait list to get into the next one, it was the best experience. So this is a treat for yourself, for your wellness, for your nervous system. Get into it. Don't miss out. This is our very first one, so you really don't want to miss it. April 19th, it's from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Abounding Prosperity. The information is on our website, which will be in the bio here, but I'll tell you anyways. It is Taurus Moon 333.square.site. Again, the site is Taurus Moon 333.square.site. That is our website. Once you go to that site, it'll show you the little link. Boom, you can attend that event. The tickets are on sale right now for $11. Okay, regular price is $22, and you're like, okay, what do we get? Are we just moving? If we're just moving in the workshop, we are not just moving in the workshop. We're actually going to get some goodies in that experience. So make sure you tap into it. Again, everything is going to be in the link in the bio, and I will see you guys there. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.